Okay, so our first set of notes today are nice, quick, easy notes, and they shouldn't be that difficult. You're on page 49, and it's solve quads by square root. Since you're taking the notes tonight, it should have a date of 37. Okay, so solving quads by square roots. Got my S. Okay, very important. Okay, and it's easy. Okay, so these are going to be binomials that we're going to solve by square roots. So you may use the square root method to solve a quadratic equation if the equation can be rewritten as a times x squared is equal to c. Okay, so very important that we recognize that. Okay, so there's only 2 steps to do this type of method. Step number 1 is to divide both sides of the equation by a. Okay, so to divide both sides of the equation by a. Step number 2 is to take the square root of each side. Okay. So here's our examples. Solve by square root method. Okay, so we're going to solve by the square root method. So we have 2 examples. Our first example is 5x squared minus 180 equals 0. So we know that we're solving because it has this equal to 0. If it didn't have an equal to 0, it would just be factoring, because that equal makes us go from factoring to solving. Now we need to get it in this form. We need to have this ax squared equals c. So I need to move this 180. Well, it's really easy. Okay, we're subtracting it, so we're going to add it to both sides. Okay, on this side, it's going to cancel. And we're going to be left with 5x squared on the left and 180 on the right, okay? Which matches this form here, so we're good to go. So now it's time to take the square root. Well, not time to take the square root. The first thing we have to do is now step 1, okay? Now I'm going to color code this so we can see where step 1 comes in. Step 1 is to divide each side by 5. Okay, so this is step 1. So if I divide each side by 5, a 180 divided by 5 is 36. So we're going to get, well, 5 divided by 5 is 1, so we're just left with x squared. Okay? And then 180 divided by 5 is 36, so we get x squared is equal to 36. Okay. Last step, take the square root of each side. So here's step 2. Okay. Well, we've already worked on what the square root of x was, or x squared. So the square root of x squared is x, and it's going to equal the square root of 36, which we know is 6. Okay, and here's a new thing. When we take a square root of a number, it's actually plus minus, because negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36, along with positive 6 times positive 6 is 36. So they're both a plus and a minus. Okay. Problem 2. 3x squared is equal to 15. Now, if you notice, this example is already in this form. So I don't have to do this move here. I'm going to start right with step 1. Step 1 is to divide each side by 3. Okay, so there's step 1. So, of course, over here on the left-hand side, 3 cancels out 3. So we're left with x squared is equal to 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, so we have x squared equals 5. Okay, did step 1, now step 2. Take the square root of each side. Square root, so step 2. Okay, the square root of x squared, again, is x. The square root of 5 is the square root of 5. You cannot simplify that square root, and it's okay to get an answer that looks like this. Okay, all you have left to do is to add, subtract, add the plus minus in front. Okay, now very, very important couple things. First thing is this plus minus, plus minus. Okay. You have to have this plus minus in front of all of your answers when you do the square root method. Okay. And also, this method, so our method, square root method, it could be plus or minus. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's a really easy method. Okay, so we have our solving by factoring. This is solving by quads by square root. Okay, on page 50, leave it open. You're going to have work tomorrow in your stations on page 50. So just leave 50 open. You'll put your work in tomorrow on that page. Okay, so that's it for the solving by square roots. Again, I'm going to leave it right here so you guys can see. Take your time through the video. Make sure you have these notes tomorrow. If you do not have these notes tomorrow, that's what you will be doing until you finish them, and then you will join your classmates in doing your practice. Thanks.